What is going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today's the return of Trails in the Sky FC, which I now know is first chapter. So it's the first game. I kind of like saying Sora no Kiseki better, but sure. We heard this not too long ago, and I was kind of impressed because it was different. And these are, we're listening to Factory City of Zeiss, followed by Leiston Fortress, and then a remade version of Leiston Fortress. All are from the channel Falcom Music channel, requested by J2O. Let's get into it. Full transparency. Got a little bit of a headache, so I'm not going to talk too much, and that's okay. I just want to hear music today. And let's get into it now. I have no context on these, by the way. But Factory City sounds really interesting to me. Factory City of Zeiss. I needed this too. I have a very specific imagery in mind, and I don't think it's correct, but it's just what went to mind. It's really nice hearing this like other side Falcom music. I'm so used to the heavy stuff. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of these soundtracks. And I do love meat and potatoes. Oh, it's almost over. Oh, that was chill. I kind of wanted that to go for a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much. It's funny. Two reasons why that is. One, I don't know. Every day is different, just like you guys every day. Sometimes you're chatty, sometimes you're not. And I just felt like, my mood is very, like let's say 1 to 10. 5 neutral. I got a 4. Just kind of like I'm just existing right now. And I do like to record with different moods. Otherwise I would record every single day, all day, and then just go through my backlog. But then that wouldn't be like genuine, and it would be super forced. I don't know if people know that about me, because I don't know, but you have to be like kind of in the mood to work and do stuff. At least for me. And just to make that, as an organic experience, and hopefully that translates, to camera, and then you get a real experience. Because I was thinking about this, I'll explain why, but I was thinking about this earlier on a walk, and how I really don't like to group myself with like React channels, because even though that's what I'm doing, I do more than that, but also it's to me, it's the feeling of like just sharing a song with like a friend and having them actually listen to it all, You know, that's so rare. That's how I think of it. I don't really think of it as like me, you know, hyping up everything and making these like crazy faces. It's just more like, yeah. So come to think of it, you know, if I showed someone in real life a song and they spent the whole time listening to it and really not talking too much, that'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? So there's that, and then there's the tiny little aspect of imposter syndrome where I never watch my own videos. Like once they're uploaded, they're just there, and unless someone says, "Hey, you know, did this or said that," then I'm just like, okay, you know, I just move on from it. But every now and then, I'll watch something and I get reminded. I'm like, damn, dude, like I talk a lot, like during the song. I'm just like, cringe. But anyways, so that was the whole reason behind that. Anywho, this is really nice. Like it's like I'm growing alongside with these games in a way. You know, not the way you guys do. You guys play these games. I also have a history with them, you know, a different kind of history, and a very unique one at that. I go through these weird, unique journeys with these games. You know, I've been listening to Falcom music for 4 years now. I've never played a Falcom game, although I do intend to play my first one in 2026. But, you know, I have 4 years, it's a long time, of hearing different music from their games. Trails, East, you know, it's been, and of course, out of the gate, people request like the big stuff and the heavy stuff, and I don't know. But now it's like we all know that there's so much more depth to a game soundtrack, and that's what I like, honestly. Like, yeah, sure, the bangers are cool and the heavy hitters and the popular ones, but you know, I really, really gravitate towards like the kind of random songs that just exist in the soundtrack that don't really get a whole lot of shine or something. Just for example, just 2 quick examples of recent memory. Final Fantasy VIII, my favorite song, is a song that really no one talks about, and that's The Stage is Set. Plays one time in a random section, not even really like, you know, but it's sick, you know. It's not final boss music or anything, but it's still sick to me. And then a relevant example is Shin Megami Tensei 5, which I'm playing right now. My first place is tied, but one of them is the Demon Haunt, which is just like this loungy area with benches, and you're just talking to your squad. And that's what this reminded me of, you know, and I love that song. So and this is another reason why like I don't really associate with like other React channels or anything like that, is because I'm just kind of doing my own thing. And I like to think that's why people stay here, you know what I mean, and like hang out with me still. Because I'm not like trying to like sell you anything, I guess, or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I like this feeling that it's felt like authentic growth this whole time. And I just have been going through a lot of reflections as I'm really close to 100K. I'm just like, damn, that's a lot of people. And I really like this stuff, these aspects of video game music, this kind of just, you know, I don't know. It's not all about like the big hits here, and I could totally enjoy Factory City of Zeiss just as much as anything else. I can say right now that's one of my favorite Falcom songs I've heard, and it was like essentially, in the nicest way, really nothing going on. You know, if I was to play this game, this would be just an example. I would eventually be like, whoa, what am I listening to? You know, and that would like enhance the experience going onwards. So while it may not be, you know, XYZ final boss theme, this is the stuff that makes soundtracks iconic, and that's really cool. And hearing this stuff way later is something interesting. Like I said, I have my own journey with it. So, you know, me not talking for 2 minutes gave me all those thoughts. So, pretty cool song. Very loungy. I love it. You know, did what it had to do. By the way, the setting I got, 2 things came to mind. One, this giant gear back here, but also a very specific place in Pokemon. Oh man, I don't remember the Pokemon game. I did it for the desert episode of VGM Vibes. It was like, it starts with the snaps, and then like a bass line. It was like a desert city. It was like based in like Arizona or something. But it reminded me of that, even though that's like a desert rundown city. But there is like stuff that's like homemade and like, you know, mechanical stuff, and it just made me think of that. Yeah, so it was probably not either of those, but cool. This is gonna sound probably way different. This is called Leiston Fortress. I actually want to look up what a fortress is. You know what? One thing I like about this channel, which is kind of weird to say, but it's true. I learned a lot. There's a lot of words that I've like heard my whole life and just never took the time to be like, what does that actually mean? Like I know what it means and like at face value, but I don't actually know how to define a fortress. So I'm gonna do that now. To my knowledge, oh, it's 69 degrees right now. Nice. To my knowledge, it's like a stronghold. You know, some kind of defense. I think of like a castle defense. Anyways, sorry. These are my thoughts. We're hearing two versions of this. So this is the original. Leiston Fortress. Oregon. A military stronghold, especially strongly fortified town, fit for a large garrison. Ooh. This reminds me of one of my favorite songs from Nier Automata, sort of. Just a little doot, 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 doot. It reminds me of Pascal's Village. Not anymore. Just that little like, ooh, dude. See, this is, if you guys want me to play your games, you gotta send me stuff like this. Now, that's not an open invitation, but see where I'm coming from. That's a real band too, right? That sounds like a real instrument. Real instruments. Wataru Ishibashi. That thing on the right. Ding, 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 ding. That sounds like Pascal's Village in Nier Automata, which is my second or third favorite song in that. So, a little change. Sounds like a pre-chorus. Both these songs sound like they're just meant to loop constantly, like locations. Sick drums, though. I think I hear a cowbell in there, too. Short loop. Again, did the job. This reminds me of Persona a little bit. Like the song Price. Kind of. I'm gonna go right into the remake one and keep that melody in my head. Dun dun dun. This is I don't know what it's from actually, but it's the remade version. So the organ is more prominent. The drums sound better. It's really faithful, and it actually, and I don't mean this like subjectively, it just sounds better. Everything sounds brought up to, wow, that's really faithful, damn. That's what you want in a remastered soundtrack. I finally found out that those are the trails in the sky. I think those two characters on the right are these two, right? Yeah. You know what's funny is the original already sounded super clean. And this sounds cleaner. Wow. I don't know why, but the girl with the long ponytail and on the left is my favorite character. I don't know why. If I'm just choosing no. Ooh, a bass. Ooh. They all have interesting outfits. They look like they're kind of... I don't know how to explain it. It's not really like a sex sells type of thing. It's more like they're just nicely dressed, but kind of older outfits. That's a loop right there. Yep. Let me just show you really quick what that's reminding me of. You know what's funny about this upload is this is my mod. And I asked him to upload it. It's the like the #1 result. Oh, no? Not anymore? Where is it? Oh, damn, did it get nuked? Oh, where is it? Did I lie? Am I capping? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's right. Damn, that's 21,000 views. The instrument reminded me of this intro right here. Gotta stop there, though. By the way, I have this exact thing as a 30-inch poster on that wall. You just can't see it. It's gigantic. But yeah, shout out Happy Bell, my mod. I asked him to upload that. Okay. This one reminded me a lot of Price from Persona for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I just heard it recently. And it's not really like the... I would say more the mood of the song, Price, not the instruments. Although I think there is organ in Price. I don't know, maybe not. Either way, just the mood of it. Just the kind of like the swing of it. Excuse me. But I'm going to keep it very simple. This requester has also been around for a while, and I don't think they'd mind if, you know, I'm like trying to, you know, like milk this. It's just like... I just like it, you know. Yeah, I just really like it, and I'd be not surprised if they requested it because I like stuff like the Demon Hot and stuff like that, you know. Although I will say, as great as both of these songs were, it was kind of tough to put them with their title. For example, Fortress, and it was like so calm and chill, you know. But it definitely sounds like a town theme. And you're just like right outside this fortress or in it. But there was like no sense of dread or anything like that. So that was something, not that was anything wrong with that. And then Factory City, I was expecting, you know, maybe some like mechanical sound or something of the like. But what I'm trying to say is, and this is a compliment, by the way. What I'm trying to say is I feel like those songs could have been used in multiple areas, you know. It could have sounded like a beach or a resort or a store or, you know what I mean? I want to see what these games look like because every time I see imagery, it's like super colorful. It's just like there's just so many things popping out. All these characters look pretty cool too. I'm going to assume girl in the red up front is the main character. She seems to be right up front. And probably the dude right behind her. Got someone else with I don't know what kind of bird that is. It's not a pigeon. Here, let me try to guess their personalities based on the JRPGs that I've played. Right is... Let me see. Tell me how close or far I am. He looks kind of timid, but really strong. And maybe like doesn't even believe in himself. He's also dual wielding. probably main character and probably like really stoic and probably everyone's favorite. Purple hair with the bird is the not mage, but like maybe the second youngest, still learning, and uses the bird a lot for their attacks. Girl with the goggles, probably the youngest, and probably has like something attached to speed or being, agile. Red hair dude is very straightforward, no BS, doesn't even joke. Probably turns on the cast at some point. Smug guy in the back is just smug guy in the back, probably comic relief. Probably like the come on character, or whatever, kind of like Jansen in Lost Odyssey. My favorite, who is probably the mage, looks like a mage. And on the left, I feel like the person on the left is probably like the strongest mage, or just another mage. And probably somewhere between cocky and very confident. They're just guesses. But yeah, anyways. Okay. Whew. Well, I enjoyed those. I really like chill stuff like that. And I'll let you guys know when I'm getting closer and closer to playing a a Falcom game. I already decided my first Trails is East. Start again. My first Falcom is East. I'm not trying to troll. I'm tired. I am playing East as my first Falcom game. To be totally honest, I'm just being very transparent here. I do not know if I'll ever try Trails because of how insanely much of a rabbit hole it is, and I'm not really trying to play 200-hour games each time I play a game. Yeah, it's too much. I'm sure the stories are very engrossing and cool, but I cannot dedicate that much time. But I will watch and listen from afar. Anywho, that is Leiston Fortress and Factory City. Let me know what's going on here, and shout out Falcon Music Channel. Thank you, J2O Juice. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks for listening to my rants and whatever. Thanks for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Take care of yourselves.